Hey, everybody, and welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
The Lord of Puppies is joining me as well. Say hi, SDA.
Hi.
Sitting in with SDA tonight is the Lord of Triple Penetration, Tri-Dick. Say hi.
Hello.
And I am your Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey. How is everyone tonight?
We good. We lit, fam. True.
Oh, God. It's going to be street all over now, isn't it?
We got Street SDA tonight.
What?
I said, do we have Street SDA tonight?
Oh, two of them.
Yo, my dudes.
Jesus
They
Christ.
be two of me, yo.
So, would you tell the audience, or do you want to tell the audience who Tridick is in relation to you?
Tridick is like basically my sister. Like we've been like best friends for like ever.
Oh, God.
Oh my God. Right? Like also, there was like, yeah, like my parents are basically like her parents and like vice versa and stuff. True. It's like a whole thing. Yep. I don't know. Like we share a brain and everything. Like it's bananas.
That explains so much.
Yeah, it really does. I can't tell who's who.
That's good.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
No.
Guys, sorry we missed last night. Several things came together to make us not be here, but we're back and we missed you. And we're going to have a show.
Well, everyone, we're going to have a show.
So I have nothing to start with. So unless anybody else does, we can jump into news.
I don't have anything.
Monkey Dick, Jim Jones movies. Hit that like button if you have not already. And
I didn't explain this to you. So what happened was, so let me just explain Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, and movies. Cool.
Oh, okay.
Monkey and Scribe talk about movies a lot. Okay. So it was like they talk about movies every time. And then Monkey started talking about he talked about his dick 2 nights in a row.
It was
as you do. And everybody was like, we talk about dick too much. So and then Scribe and I went on like a thing where for a period all we would talk about was Jim Jones. And so because people were mad at us for mentioning it, we decided that we would just mention it every fucking night. So now we do Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, and movies every night.
Well, there was also the thought that after we stopped doing each of those things for a while, people are asking, why is anybody talking about Monkey Dick or Jim Jones or something? So just also get it out of the way and to make sure that every episode has it in there so no one feels disappointed.
Yeah. So,
yeah, double purpose. And also, if you like our stuff, share it. If you don't like our stuff, share it. And share. And I'm still getting an echo from you guys somewhere.
Fuck.
Yeah, that too.
How about now?
Testing. It's tiny, but it's manageable, I guess.
Because like if I turn you down even like more, then we can't hear you.
Yeah. All right. You have
real quick. Yeah. Thank you, Cryptic. Did you hear about the Flasher who was thinking of retiring? He decided to stick it out for 1 more year.
Cryptic sends us.
Oh, I love that joke.
You had another one from Shiogorath and one way up at the top from Point earlier.
Thank you. I just found the Shiogorath one. If a deaf person gives a hand job, does it count as oral sex? More so, do they believe in love at first touch? Hope all are feeling better. I'll have to go to my other screen to get the other one. So
sure.
You gotta hear me sing while I do this.
La 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 la.
La la la. La la la.
La 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 la.
It's in the community tab, right? Yes.
Sure. If you say so.
Oh, and thank you, Point Curation. Hope chat has a nice night tonight. Me too. I hope they enjoy what we do for them.
Okay, so hey, you guys like Russia?
Sometimes.
Oh, okay.
I like Drago.
I must break you.
Russia's fun, I guess. I don't know.
Real quick, I got one more. Thank you, Snowstorm. I've done my duty. I purchased another rifle to keep it out of the hands of crazy people. Well played, sir.
Reduce the supply. Well, a lot of stuff happened between yesterday and today. I guess maybe it was Friday. But anyway, indictments were handed down on 13 Russians.
Yes.
And a whole bunch of things came out of that. So here's kind of a summary, I guess, from CNN. Trump responds to Mueller indictment news. The White House continues to vehemently deny collusion with Russia a day after multiple indictments of Russian nationals and entities were announced by the Justice Department in Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. election. Interference, didn't say meddling this time. Can't do
Real quick,
Scooby-Doo.
thank you, Meshishu. Hey, chat, in case you missed it, Lady Monkey posted a picture of Ranting Monkey's cock on Twitter today.
Ha, that's true. She did, didn't she? Of a kind.
That's not really my cock.
Yeah. In a string of tweets Saturday, President Donald Trump said that despite the newly announced charges, the Russian meddling, I thought we'd get away with it one time, the Russian meddling had no effect on the outcome of the election. Let's see.
Isn't that what Rosenstein said himself?
Yes, he came out and said that there was no allegation in the indictments that anything that occurred actually affected the election. And in fact, it might say it in the article, but it said something to the effect that the whole thing started back in 2014 and before the election even happened. Somebody
on Twitter pointed out that if you've been paying attention, there's really nothing in that indictment that was really surprising. For instance, with this whole, it had no influence. We covered a story, 6-8 months ago, about how much money had been spent by Russians on Facebook and how few people saw their tweet or their posts.
Yeah, it was like it's like hundreds of thousands of dollars or something, and like 40 people saw it or something.
Yeah. So I don't mean to interrupt there, but
no, it's fine.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
There's a birthday alert.
Oh, whose birthday is it?
I don't know.
Shilgarath's wife.
Shilgarath, somebody married Shilgarath?
Hey, women like funny men.
It's Shilgarath's wife's and father-in-law's birthday. Wait, his wife and her dad have the same birthday? That was some birthday gift.
It's also Ace Phoenix.
Oh my
God.
God.
Birthday was yesterday.
The Shilgaraths
on Ace's birthday. That's so fucked up. I feel so bad now.
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
so at least, we'll work out the thing with Shio, and then you guys have to sing for Ace Phoenix as well.
So does Shio's wife and father-in-law have code names?
Angela and her dad.
Angela and her dad. Okay. Hang on a second. Hang on. All right. Now, I realize you guys have heard us sing this before, so it might be weird that I have to get ready, but I do.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're going to hear me moan through this.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We ready?
Yes.
And a 1, and a 2, and a happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy
birthday, dear Angela. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Angela and Dad.
We'll do aces after the news. How's about that?
Okay. We can't forget that. Somebody in chat remind us, because I won't remember.
I want to do them too close together. It's not quite special. Let's see.
I think they're all special. Have you heard us?
Short bus special.
Okay.
Yeah. Deputy AG Rod Rosenstein stated at the news conference, there is no allegation in the indictment that any American was a knowing participant in this illegal activity. There is no allegation in the indictment that the charged conduct altered the outcome of the 2016 election. Quote, this makes it clear and concise for the American people and proves the president correct. No collusion between Donald Trump, his campaign, and Russia, Deputy White House Press Secretary Hogan Gidley. Hogan Gidley. Do parents hate their children at the White House?
It sounds like it.
I mean, some of the names I hear in politics, Hogan Gidley, Reince Priebus, and all, it's just like, what's wrong with you people? I think this is important too. It did not affect the outcome of the election whatsoever, Gidley added. What the Russians were trying to do, as outlined by Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein, was create chaos in the American election system. Why are the Russians doing that when we do that all by ourselves?
What chaos?
Yeah, I don't. What did it affect?
I've read this already, and according to what they said, there's nothing about the election that was chaotic from what they did.
Right.
It's the after. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I mean, we know all this stuff already because we've heard about it bit by bit over the course of time. What I don't understand is how any of what the Russians did, save for the fact that it came from Russian or Russian-affiliated entities, was any different than what the political machines of either party was doing against the other.
Well, this is another thing I saw on Twitter, people responding to. Guys, there's people out there, oh, so you can't talk about elections or have fake accounts during. No, Americans can. But there are laws on the books that makes it illegal for foreign entities to do this. That is entirely what it's about, is that it's a foreign entity. That's
I'm not okay. Well, let me clarify. I'm not saying that they didn't do anything illegal. I'm just saying the net effect of what they were doing. It doesn't make any sense to me how anything they were doing was any different substantively than what the political parties themselves would do in trying to fight each other with rhetoric and propaganda.
Again, the only issue here is them being Russian.
Right. Okay. Now that's fine. If they broke federal law doing that, fine, prosecute, go all the way. I'm just still, even after 13 indictments, we still end up with a net zero conspiracy, collusion, and everything else as far as any evidence of such.
Real quick, Mining Freedom in chat says, I can't talk about U.S. elections. You can. There's certain things you can and can't do. You can't donate to parties unless you're a Chinese national working for the Clintons in the 90s. You can't. What most of what they got in trouble for isn't that they meddled in the elections. It's that they were underhanded about doing it.
Yeah.
If you read the indictment, it's wire fraud because they were using fake names and were pushing fake stories. Yeah, it's not that they
from overseas.
It's not that they had an opinion. It's that they were deceitful about it.
Yeah. So anyway, I skimmed through the rest of the article, and honestly, there's nothing here beyond basically what I've already said, and there's nothing that is like the smoking gun of, aha, here's where, Trump sat down with Putin in the bathhouse in order to talk over how they were going to fuck over the election.
Hey, Dick.
Are they there?
Wait, hello?
Yeah.
Dick, what do you think about Russians?
Well, I'm personally friends with a Russian named
oh God.
Named
we're gonna get indicted.
Famous because of a dog. And
oh, that's right. You know what? Don't explain that though.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to. And he tells me a lot about Russia, but I'm just kind of like, you know what? Whatever. As long as we don't get into like a detrimental war with them. But
you're cool with them?
I mean, I don't really want to be involved with them personally.
Do you think it's horrible
trying to convince me to go? I'm like, no.
I mean, Russians killed Apollo Creed, and that's got to mean something.
Ew.
Thank you, Cryptic. What did the egg say to the boiling water?
I don't know.
How can you expect me to get hard so fast? I just got laid a minute ago.
Oh.
You know what? You can tell me bad jokes all night long. I enjoy them.
I love them too. I love it when Cryptic gets on a bad joke binge. I'm like, yes,
I like bad jokes.
And our guest and SDA don't know the significance of Apollo Creed in American history.
We don't. We have no clue.
Yep.
Okay. He's only the greatest American boxer next to Rocky Balboa. That's all.
Okay.
Oh, Creed, like from the Rocky movies.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Do you know, I listened to the stream the other night when I had to bail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were like 14 times you guys had to explain jokes to SDA. It's become its own meme on the show now.
Well, like sometimes.
Oh my God, you're a meme. I'm so proud.
Because sometimes what happens is like somebody will say something really racist and I laugh, but I'm not sure if like I'm laughing for the right reason. So I have to like check. I just want to make sure that I'm being racist properly.
Is there ever a time where laughing at a racist joke is the right reason?
Well, like I just want to.
The answer is no.
If I'm gonna do it, I just need to know what's going on. And you know what? We were having like a lot of Scottish jokes that night because we had tailed on.
Yeah.
And I feel like I should I don't know, like I should just.
You should just be a more informed racist.
Yeah, like
yeah, I'm on
a
the same page. I want to be a more informed racist.
I'm a really bad racist.
Well, that's a good thing. Be a bad racist.
Yeah, I know. So like, I'm not. We need your best racist jokes. Just ones to confuse SDA. Go for it.
Yes, please.
I'm a bad Nazi.
We did have a natural disaster yesterday that didn't hurt anybody until after the natural disaster, which is really weird. But let me explain. So yesterday, there was a 7.2 earthquake in Mexico. Like, I think it was in the same effective geographic area as Mexico City, not like in the center of the town or something, close enough that it shook everything up, right? Mm-hmm. There was some damage. There was some damage to buildings that had already been damaged in the previous earthquake that hit there a couple weeks ago. I guess that was a couple months ago now. Yeah. But no one was killed. No one was hurt. There's some minor injuries, nobody killed until this happened. 13 killed in Mexico after helicopter crashes as officials tour the quake area.
Oh,
that
dear
sucks.
God.
Yeah, this is insane. A military helicopter carrying officials surveying earthquake damage crashed Friday night in the southeastern Mexican state of, I'm going to say this wrong, but it's like, I want to say Oaxaca, but I know it's not Oaxaca. It's Oaxaca or something. I don't know how to say it. But it crashed basically in a town, killing 13 people. The helicopter was attempting to land at an airfield in Santiago when it crashed in a nearby field on top of two vehicles. The 13 who were killed were all on the ground. 12 died at the crash site, while one died later at the hospital.
That 15, really sucks.
15 others were injured. The helicopter...
How unlucky do you have to be hit by a helicopter?
Mm-hmm.
Very honestly.
Yep.
Like...
the helicopter was surveying the damage from... the helicopter was surveying the damage from the quake and was carrying Mexican Interior Minister Alfonso Navarrete Prida and the governor of the state, Alejandro Murat. Both men survived and only suffered slight concussions.
Yeah, well, everybody else died, so
yeah,
good for you two.
Let's see.
I would think it would be more dangerous to be in that, like, not than be crushed by it, but I would think it would be hard to survive the actual crash. A helicopter crash is easier on you than I thought they were.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how it was trying to land, and then I remember hearing on a radio report somewhere that it was trying to land and then it like tipped over or something. So I imagine maybe the blade went through cars or I don't know. But either way, yeah, the earthquake didn't hurt anybody, but then the government officials trying to look at it killed 13 people.
That sucks.
So, yeah. So yeah,
can you imagine like being those people though, like woohoo, didn't die,
survived,
and then it's all like, oh fuck.
Lastly, I've got two sort of potpourri articles that are just interesting. They might be MSS News type fodder, but I thought I'd just pull them out. So SDA, do you want Macy's or do you want $37 million?
Macy's sounds less interesting.
Okay.
So let's do it first. I always go less interesting and then more fun.
Macy's decision to sell hijabs sparks debate among Muslim women.
Okay.
American department store Macy's sparked a fierce debate on Thursday when it launched a line of modest clothing that featured hijabs. The Verona collection was founded by fashion photographer Lisa Vogel after she converted to Islam in 2011 and struggled to find modest, fashionable clothing. The brand stands for women's empowerment and taking pride in one's Muslim identity.
I don't feel like you can be like a Muslim and then be all like women's empowerment as I cover my head with a scarf.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Macy's decision to stock Vogel's line came after U.S. retailer Nike released a pro-hijab for Muslim athletes, and fashion brand American Eagle's limited edition denim hijab were sold out. While the department store's efforts to be inclusive were applauded by some online, others criticized it for legitimizing the hijab, a religious headscarf that has been politicized in some parts of the world in recent years and closely tied to women's rights issues.
I mean, I genuinely don't care if they want to sell a hijab. Like, it doesn't
affect.
Like, at the end of the
Us
day,
non-Muslims.
that is like their choice. What concerns me is people wearing denim hijabs.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Like, how? First of all, yeah, you're right. Ew. But secondly, that would be hot as fuck. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you, like, if you're gonna,
make fashionable hijabs with breathable fabric?
Yeah, why wouldn't you use breathable fabric? I don't understand. That's what I'm upset about.
I went a different way. Does it say whether or not they sell yarmulkes?
No, it doesn't talk about that. Yeah, or crosses. Or the.
I'm sure you can get a cross necklace.
The turbans that Sikhs wear. Yeah, no.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, he has a point with the yarmulke stuff.
Yeah, or I guess the turbans that Sikhs wear. I don't know.
Are there sports yarmulkes?
I mean, yeah, like, I'm not saying it's not inconsistent. I'm just saying, like, I guess.
Does a Jewish athlete paint his number on his yarmulke?
Yes.
I don't know.
If not, then
I know there's not many Jewish athletes, but
what?
But, like, okay,
there's only the Olympic team from Israel. I mean, I don't know.
Real talk though, is there? Oh yeah, okay. I guess so.
I guess so.
Look how that took you a minute.
Remember all those guys that were murdered at Munich, because they were in the Olympic team and from Israel? Yeah, they.
I mean, I just like Jew and athlete. I don't have anything against the Jews, but like Jews and athletes.
Sandy
Kovacs.
Okay, all right.
You wouldn't normally be like, yeah, Jews and athletes are the same thing.
Yeah, Jews. I like the way yeah, Jews.
All right. Well, moving on from that. So we talked about this story, like, I think, or at least we referenced it or something. No, maybe you didn't. No, it's happened in 2016. So this is before we started. Yeah, never mind. They all run together, I guess. Jury awards more than $37 million to family of Maryland woman killed in police standoff.
Oh.
A jury returned a verdict Friday of more than $37 million against Baltimore County, Maryland, in a civil lawsuit brought by the family and estate of a woman killed in an armed standoff with county police, according to the attorneys for the family of Corinne Gaines. Do you remember Corinne Gaines?
The name sounds familiar, but
I don't know who that is.
Okay. Gaines, 23, was shot and killed in August 2016 after an hours-long standoff with police in Baltimore County. She was trying to live stream the encounter with police, authorities said at the time. Her son, Cody, then 5, was also shot twice, says Kenneth Rivenel, an attorney for the boy's father. Quote, "We know this is a blessing from God that the jury understood the police actions in this case were inappropriate and that the police officers' use of excessive force in the shooting were unjustified and unreasonable." Blah, blah, blah. During the trial, the plaintiffs argued that the force was excessive because the shot that the officer took was unnecessary and unreasonable because the officers were all safe in the location where they were located. According to the Baltimore Sun, throughout the course of the trial, attorneys for Baltimore County and Officer Royce Ruby argued that the officer reasonably feared he or others would have been injured or killed by Gaines, who was armed with a gun. James Ruckel, an assistant county attorney representing Ruby and the county, told jurors during the trial that police officers are allowed to use deadly force if they believe there is an imminent threat of death or bodily injury to themselves or other officers. A mother died, a child was unintentionally injured, and police officers were placed in mortal danger. By any account, this was a tragic situation. If I remember correctly, she had holed herself up in the house and had sat her 5-year-old in her lap while she held a gun at the door while the police were trying to get in there.
Is that the one?
Is what the one?
Is this the one we're talking about? The one who she had a kid with her?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I remember her. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, let's see. On August 1st, 3 warrant officers went to serve a man and a woman in the Randallstown area near Baltimore. Upon arriving, the officers heard the voices of a man, a woman, and a crying child inside the apartment. They waited outside the door for about 10 minutes. Then one officer obtained a key to the apartment. The man, Kareem Courtney, was wanted on an assault warrant, while Gaines was warranted on a bench warrant, wanted on a bench warrant over failure to appear in court to face traffic charges. Gaines had a Mossberg 12-gauge shotgun, which she pointed at police, Johnson said. The officers called for a tactical team and waited. Not long into the standoff, Courtney left the apartment with a 1-year-old child and was arrested. That left Gaines and the 5-year-old alone in the home. Gaines was posting a video of the operation as it unfolded. Gaines vacillated between agitated and calm during the encounter. Several times she pointed the gun at officers. At around 4 p.m., after hours of standoff, the woman threatened officers verbally and with the weapon. "If you don't leave, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you," she said. One police officer fired a shot and Gaines fired back with buckshot. Officers responded with 3 shots hitting Gaines. Police didn't say why the first officer fired. Okay, so he shot first. All right. Cody was hit in the arm, the child, and the cheek during the crossfire. At the time, authorities said Gaines was trying to live stream the incident. During the standoff, police requested that Facebook deactivate her account. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Cop shot first. She shot second. Then there was more shots, and now $37 million to the family.
Thank you, Cryptic. Why are Chinese women in China afraid of strip clubs? Because of all the wangs. Okay, I don't understand why they got 37 million for it, but okay.
I guess the cop shot first with. I mean, if the argument is the cop shot without provocation, that's a tough one because you got a 12-gauge shotgun aimed at you, and you got a 5-year-old child in there being used as a. Well, the story I heard was that she had the kid sat in her lap and was holding the shotgun at the door, so she sort of had like a human shield kind of thing. So, I don't know. Anyway, that's the only stories I had queued up. So, yeah, unless something else is going. I mean, a lot of stuff happened between yesterday and today, but those are the ones that kind of stood out to me.
Yeah, I haven't watched much news. I was too sore to even play video games for most of my day. I sat here watching YouTube.
Oh.
So yeah, I have no idea what the hell's going on. MSS News?
Sure.
Guys, if there's a story you'd like us to take a look at, especially if it involves a Florida person, hit us up at hashtag MSS News over on Twitter. Can't get to them all, but we'll do the best we can.
Let's see. Oh, there was one story I forgot to mention. Black Panther came out, so all world wars have ended. Hunger has been eliminated, and dogs and cats are living together.
The hype around this movie, you know what? It's a comic book movie. Let's just enjoy it for what it is.
I haven't seen it yet. I plan on seeing it, but I'm going to probably do it either next week or something. And it's not just Black Panther. I mean, I waited a week or two to watch Guardians of the Galaxy 2. My immediate fervor over Marvel movies that aren't immediately part of the main cast, so to speak, don't quite get me as excited anymore, to go see them like opening night or anything. So, and The Last Jedi has definitely toned me down from wanting to see every Star Wars movie opening day too. So, let's see. This first one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Speaking of Florida peoples, I think this is a Florida story. No, this is a Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania story, so it's Gutenberg's territory.
Okay.
Pastor says nothing happened after cops find him in a car with a naked, bound man.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
A pastor in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania has been slapped with lewdness and indecency charges, after police found him in a vehicle with a naked and bound man. Cops were called to investigate a suspicious vehicle parked outside a home. When they arrived, they found 61-year-old George Nelson Gregory in the vehicle's back seat, while a naked and bound man sat in the front seat. His story? Gregory told police they were, quote, just playing, unquote, and that he and the other man, quote, meet up from time to time to play with each other, unquote. The first told police he thought they were in a secluded place that would be private, but then admitted he knew he was in full view of several homes. Yeah, secluded place outside your house. Good job.
For any of my friends listening along, I'm never going to play like this with you.
Gregory denies making any of these statements to police, however. Instead, he says he was just giving counseling to a drug addict and that it did turn a little strange. Quote, I won't deny that he began to take his clothes off and propositioned me, but I will deny on a stack of Bibles with God as my witness that I did nothing, Gregory said.
Who bound him?
Yeah, how did he get tied up? Why was he tied up? What? Yeah.
Well, you know what? If I met up with a dude and he started getting naked, I might tie his ass up so he stops. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. Went and saw Black Panther Thursday night. Surprise, surprise. It was just a movie. You must not have seen the right version.
I'm gonna go see it tomorrow probably, and I'm really excited about seeing it because I like Marvel movies. But you know, oh, who's our guest? Our guest is
Hi.
Is Tridick, and she's my best friend from high school.
And for the record, that's not try dick like she's going to try some dick. She has a 3-headed penis.
I don't have the 3-headed penis. My husband has the 3-headed penis.
That's not what you told us before the stream.
That is. I don't feel like we specified.
Yeah, I don't feel like we did specify actually.
Wait. Would that make her a triple trap?
Triple trap.
She's not a trap.
It's
because she told us.
Yeah.
Or are you?
I don't know. Am I?
I've seen you in a baby.
Ask Bay.
Well, she's right there. You could take. Never mind. I'm not gonna go there. Yeah, take a peek. All right. Well, anyway, moving on. Ellie the Enthusiastic Elephant sent us this one. Has actually sent us to a couple of days ago, but someone else retweeted it to us because we missed it.
Tridick, we have a really important question.
What?
Are traps gay?
What's the right answer? The right answer, yes.
So, like, if a guy has sex with a penis, is that gay?
I mean, yeah.
Traps are gay.
Okay.
Confirmed.
Cool.
I actually asked my mom that one day. I was like, hey, Mom, are traps gay? And she was like, what? And I explained it to her. She was like, oh, yeah, of course, that's gay. So my mom says that traps are gay.
At Data Wasteland or Data Wasteland, yes. He does pee like a garden sprinkler.
Dear God. All right.
Also, is cereal soup? There's a correct answer to this.
Technically, yes.
Oh my God,
Thank you.
I mean, technically,
I win again.
Liquids.
I win again.
I trusted you. I trusted you.
Thank you, Cryptic. Mexican jokes and black jokes are pretty much the same. Once you heard one, you've heard Jamal. Well played.
All right, this story is right up there for Monkey. PETA asks theater.
Oh my God! Keep talking. I'm sorry.
What?
Someone said, "Is water wet?" And I said, "Water is not wet."
Very good.
We have you know what? You won't be here because you have to leave at like 10.
I do.
PETA asks theater showing Peppa Pig play to take pork products off menu to honor animal.
Isn't Peppa Pig a piece of shit?
Peppa Pig is a bitch, to be honest.
Animal rights group PETA has asked a theater in Canterbury not to serve products containing pork as it prepares for a run of live Peppa Pig shows. In a letter sent to the Marlow Theater, the organization requests they honor the popular pig by taking animals off the menu during the run, or even better, for good. The live show is booked in for 2 performances on February 13th and 14th. This was posted on the 12th, with activists offering up vegan sausages to the theater to use instead.
Everybody at PETA on Twitter and let them know Peppa Pig is not real.
Yeah, just by the way.
Do you think they know that Peppa Pig isn't real?
I don't think they do. I think they masturbate to Peppa Pig.
Ah!
Pig is a kid's cartoon. What?
Are you saying that PETA plugs away for Peppa Pig?
Yes.
Okay.
The adult animals on the show. I'm not going to say they're complete degenerates, but
okay.
I could see PETA masturbating to Mrs. Rabbit. I'm just saying.
Okay. I'm not sure if this is a true story.
Wait.
Sounds...
We were supposed to do something at the end of news time, and I'm the only one who apparently remembered.
Or the MS. Oh, you don't consider MSS News part of the news time?
No, there's news. Then there's MSS News.
Okay. Well, I kind of consider one big block, but by all means.
Ace Phoenix. Ace Phoenix, if you're out there, This one goes out to you.
Oh boy.
baby.
1 and a 2. Happy
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Ace Phoenix.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Ace. Okay, sorry. What's next?
Yeah, so I'm grain of salt. I'm not sure if this is a true story, but it doesn't look like it's coming from the Weekly World News or whatever, so maybe. And this was brought to us by Sono Rarukushi. Oh, anyway, Malevolent Writer, something.
Okay.
South Carolina woman who gouged out her own eyes was using drugs, mother says. No shit. Okay, the mother of a South Carolina woman who gouged out her eyes outside of an upstate church provided an update on the 20-year-old who was discovered holding an eyeball in her hand. What the fuck?
What's wrong with these people?
Kaylee Muthart is permanently blind. No shit, because of the self-injury, according to her mother. Muthart gouged out her eyes as she fought off Good Samaritans and first responders next to the South Main Chapel in Anderson on February 6th.
This is disturbing AF.
She was under the influence of drugs when she intentionally blinded herself, the news reported, saying Muthart used marijuana and methamphetamine.
Oh.
Drugs
Oh,
makes it make more sense.
Quote,
you'll gouge out your own eyes.
Like so many, she fell victim to the dangerous reality of methamphetamine. Who's Tompkins? Oh, her mother. Her mother wrote on a GoFundMe page she started for her daughter. What's the GoFundMe page doing now? $3,100 of an $8,000 goal. Okay. Let's see. Muthart is still hospitalized, and her mother is frequently posted on the ups and downs of her recovery. After several days of positive posts, her mother said Wednesday was a bad day.
I'm calling bullshit.
You mean on the story?
On the reason, because meth is not a good drug. Don't get me wrong, and neither is pot. But unless she was doing some seriously fucked up versions of them, I've never heard of anything where somebody would get to the point of gouging out their own eyes.
Well, I have heard of people who take so much meth they think like bugs are crawling on them. They'll scratch at their skin because they think there's something crawling underneath their skin. So I could envision someone having some kind of strange delusion or whatever as a result, thinking that they've got something in their eyes. So
I think the bitch is just crazy.
Could be, but I mean it's extreme. But I don't know.
Betty, that would be my
either way.
Something like PCP would be far more. Even
it could have been laced with something too.
Yeah. Gregory Hirsch, thank you. On the bright side, nailed the Oedipus cosplay.
Oh
yeah.
Let's see, what else do we got? What's this?
Thought you were gonna fuck me up on that word Oedipus, didn't you?
Oh, here we go. This one comes from Massive Dynamics. God. Man arrested after police discover cocaine haul stashed in fake buttocks.
His own fake ass?
Yep. 2 men have been arrested after 1 kilogram of cocaine was found in a pair of fake buttocks at a Lisbon airport. A Brazilian man carrying the 2 cushion-like implants, which were attached to a pair of swimming trunks, was detained by Portugal's anti-narcotics agency. Later, another man was arrested at a train station under suspicion of being due to receive the drugs. It is not yet clear how police discovered the haul. Well, obviously, somebody grabbed his ass, I guess.
Monkey fully understands the founder of motherfuckers. I'm
what?
I do, but I don't understand the reference. So he was wearing these?
Yeah, it was like a pair of shorts that had these sewed into it to make it seem like it was part of him.
Oh, you got to tape that down, otherwise it flaps. That gives it away. Your butt shouldn't flap.
Exactly If it does, you've got some other problems.
So they busted his ass. Yes, Academic Cubby, they did.
Har har.
Corvo saying, didn't you guys read this one last time? I wasn't here for most of that stream, so no, I was here for all the news. No, we didn't do that one.
No, that's news to me, so to speak. Oh, okay. I think I heard about this one. This comes from David S. Yeah, I heard it's about this on the radio today, I think. And yes, I listen to the radio because I'm an old fogey. Everett Students Journal. I'm learning from past shooters. Police say he had a rifle and detailed plans to kill classmates. His grandmother turned him in. Everett, wherever that is. A would-be school shooter in Everett bought inert grenades, had a military-style rifle in a guitar case, and carried out an armed robbery to fund an elaborate plot to kill his classmates, according to police. The grandmother of Joshua Alexander O'Connor, 18, found alarming journal entries Tuesday at her home on Holly Drive, according to reports filed in court. She called police. An officer pulled O'Connor from class at Aces High School. Ace Phoenix, I didn't know he had your own high school. Quote, I'm preparing myself for the school shooting, he had written in the journal. I can't wait. My aim has gotten much more accurate. I can't wait to walk into that class and blow all those expletives away. O'Connor wrote that he wanted the death count to be as high as possible so that the shooting would be infamous, according to court papers. He went into detail about building pressure cooker bombs, activating inert grenades, and deploying explosives for maximum casualties.
Wow, sounds like they found a freak.
Yeah, I'm glad that Grandma made a phone call. And
you know what jumped out at me in that story?
What's that?
They're talking about somebody who wants to kill a whole bunch of people, but they bleeped an expletive.
Yeah. Well,
we have a weird society sometimes.
Some things are just too much for the virgin eyes of people.
I don't know if this is in yours. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm glad the police listened to Grandma, unlike the FBI that didn't listen to like 5 people calling and saying the guy's going to shoot the school up.
Could they have fucked that up any worse?
Now the one tip that I heard, the first one I heard about was like a guy had made a YouTube comment.
Yep.
And that was it. And the FBI didn't have any way to align that with a specific individual. So that one can kind of understand. But then there was another one where somebody called in and said, this guy's going to do something, and they just didn't even pass it on to the right authorities.
Yeah. Did you read their statement? Holy shit. It was like them going, yeah, we didn't give a fuck. I mean,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I should find that story. But anyway.
There's another story that I read today. There was a kid arrested for threatening his school, and he did it because he wanted out of school on Friday. He hoped it would cancel their school. Oh, and apparently he's missed a lot of school. He was worried about being reported for ditching, apparently. Guys, that's a really bad thing to do these days. Just gonna throw that out there. If you want the day off of school, just pretend to be sick.
Okay.
Tell them you have the flu.
Let's do this one, and then I think we're probably at the ceiling for MSS News. This one,
sure,
one more.
Sure. What do we got?
One more from Colleen Bernier. Might as well end on a funny one. Pilot forced to make emergency landing after a fight breaks out when a passenger refuses to stop farting.
I saw this headline. I didn't read the story, but how do you force somebody to stop farting?
I don't know.
That sounds like rape.
The Dubai to Amsterdam flight made an unscheduled stop in Vienna as the elderly, overweight man reportedly refused to contain himself. Okay. Chaos erupted on the flight when 2 Dutchmen... Wait, the Flying Dutchman? Okay, when 2 Dutchmen were sitting next to the flatulent man, who were sitting next to the flatulent man, told him to stop and complain to Transavia Airlines crew. Not Transylvania, just Transavia. Yet despite repeated requests and even a direct order from the pilot, the man carried on and a fight broke out. The pilot of the Dutch low-cost airline, well, that teaches you not to fly low-cost, then decided to make an emergency landing. Officers boarded the plane with police dogs, and 4 suspects were escorted off the plane. The pilot had reported passengers on the rampage before footage emerged of passengers being removed in a post on social media. A police spokesman confirmed that the incident centered around a passenger suffering from wind. Suffering from wind.
I don't think he was the one suffering.
Who was not attempting to restrain himself, and that this offended 2 young Dutchmen who started a fight. 2 sisters sitting in the same row as the men were also escorted off the plane, but they told local media they hadn't done anything wrong. Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Okay, I understand the passengers. I do. If there's somebody there just ripping nasty farts over and over, that's horrible. But how do you stop him?
Cork?
That sounds like rape to me.
Well, use one of the spare heads of Tridick.
Stick him in the bathroom?
Stick him. Yeah, there's that too. They're farting in the toilet.
If the plane is big enough.
Well, maybe he's too overweight to fit in the bathroom. I don't know. Anyway.
Guys, thank you for the stories. And I see there's people in chat who are upset that we didn't get to your stories. I'm sorry. We get to as many as we can, but we have the format here, so.
Yeah, we have format. We have order.
If we run out of deep topics, we'll go back to MSS News. How's that?
Sure. Yeah, we'll do that tonight. Guys, this is the time we talk about our YouTube stuff. SDA, as is tradition, you get to go first. What have you done since we were last together?
Yeah, I've been busy. So I released a video about politicizing tragedies because people were, Tony Lauren specifically was upset that people were talking about guns and stuff right after the school shooting. And basically, the major point, in my opinion, is that my major point was just that I don't think it's inappropriate to start talking about guns or solutions to something right after a tragedy happens, whether it be like border security or the issues with Islam, or if you think that there are issues with guns. Obviously, I don't really agree. I don't agree at all with extending gun regulations, but I don't think that people are terrible human beings for wanting to talk about it either, which some people seem to think that they are, because they're like, can't you just wait a minute?
You're a little bit quiet.
Yeah, the microphone's away from me. The other point that I had is that, fuck, I lost my train of thought. God damn it. What was the last thing I said?
You were talking about how it's okay to talk about, a solution to a problem after it happens in relation to the gun.
Yeah, no, I don't even remember.
Cool.
It's all that vaping.
It ruins your brain cells.
Yeah, no shit.
We also did the Harry Potter book club this morning. We did Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. So,
how'd you like the book?
I knew it was going to be my least favorite, and I didn't like it that much.
Chamber of Secrets is oh god.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a fan.
For me, 5 was the worst reading.
Yeah, I don't like gross stuff, and the Chamber of Secrets is really heavy on the gross.
Okay. Fair enough.
So that really got to me. And also I was kind of bored. So I don't know. I didn't hate it, and I'll keep going, but I wasn't had I been on my own and I didn't have two people who are really close to me demanding that I read it, I would have stopped. So
Jack says Prisoners of Azkaban was the worst. No, I have to disagree with you there.
Most people like that one the best.
Oh no, 7 is by far the best.
Yeah, I'll see how I feel when I get there, but I was kind of expecting to not have a ton of fun with the second book. Are there 2 ladies in the stream? Yes, I have my best friend Tridick here.
You're late to the party, my dude. But yes.
The first time I read Azkaban, I wasn't a fan. When I went back and read it a second time, I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. The other thing that I think might be kind of rough on somebody who's never read the books and who is already almost 21 is that they're really written for children, and so I'm kind of bored out of my mind.
That changes with Chamber or with Goblet of Fire.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
worry, it changes.
that's what Mara and Jester told me, and like that, like I said, I'm not holding that against the books because they are children's books,
yeah.
and they are meant to like grow as you do, which was how they were written. So like that doesn't really bother me, but as an adult who doesn't have any kind of emotional attachment to these books, like getting through it was rough. It was really rough. I wanted to stop, and Mara was like, "You can't," and I was like, "I could."
No, at least get through Goblet of Fire. If you're still bored after that, you're going to want to quit because it doesn't get a whole lot better after that.
Yeah, no, so but I'm gonna keep going, and I don't know when the next book club. Oh, we are doing a different book club on Tuesday, but that one's not with Jester, and I'm not really sure when we're gonna do the Prisoner of Azkaban. So yeah,
okay.
That's all the stuff that happened with me.
Scribbles, you don't have ads tonight. That's unusual.
I know, just the nature of the beast, I suppose.
So you don't have to go last.
That's true. I don't have to, no.
And I'm not going to make you. So what'd you do?
Oh, okay. So I did well, with the extra time from last night without streaming, I decided to finish up a video, which will kind of also bleed into my version of YouTube drama after a fashion, but I'll save that. I came across a video by, and I think I'm pronouncing this name correctly, Beat Shillette. She had a photography like stock photo business that she sold to Corbis, which is Bill Gates' company several years ago, and made a bunch of money off of that. Now she does speaking and consulting on like women in the workplace issues and stuff like that. I know I'm probably simplifying it, but anyway, she put out a video sort of promoting her I don't know if it's a book or just like a business philosophy course that she sort of teaches or something, but it's called the Women's Code, and it kind of centers around the notion of women need to learn to support women in order to thrive in the corporate competitive environment stuff. And so this little video kind of gives a very sort of high level summary of her theory, I guess. And I had some things to say on it because she seemed to be going off the notion that in order for women to get to leadership roles high in a corporation, they can't make it in the boys club, so they have to sort of pool their power in order to push each other forward, kind of thing. I know I'm not making it as detailed as she probably would, but anyway, it just seemed to me that she was promoting a gender reversal idea of a boys club and that women need to help other women in the workplace. And I'm just kind of like, isn't that just sexism in the workplace? I mean, how do two wrongs make a right here? If the idea is that corporate culture is male dominated and men helping men, how are you fighting the problem by just making it more tribal kind of thing?
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Try to actually has to go because she's got a drive home. But thank you for letting her come on.
Thanks, y'all.
Thanks for visiting.
Nice meeting you.
Bye,
I'm gonna walk her out, so I'll be right back.
And nice meeting you, chat.
Bye, chat. Well, not from me, but from her.
But yeah, bye, chat. She'll be back.
I'll be back.
So yeah, that was my video. It was just a simple little thing, not one of my more complex or long videos, but it did lead into one of the most interesting so far aftermaths. But I'll get to that at YouTube Drama Time.
Cool. All right. I made a video on a story we talked about the other night. Chest feeding. And as I said in the video, I come across a lot of stupid shit that I don't make videos on. But there's a person that they keep talking about, Sebastian. I forget its last name.
Sparks.
Sparks. Thank you. Yeah. Sebastian Sparks. And the whole article actually seems designed just to make Sebastian feel better about themselves. Because at one point in this article, Sebastian says that she doesn't use the term breastfeeding because it makes her dysphoric. The word breastfeeding makes her dysphoric. Having a baby, breastfeeding the child, none of this made her feel dysphoric. That was cool. But the word breastfeeding does. And this to me is the epitome of the whole trans-trender movement. Now, don't get me wrong. The crazy bitch is taking hormones. She has a beard. There's a picture of her. It's a 13-year-old's beard, but she still has facial hair. So she's going through the motions more than anyone. But when you tell me a word, a fucking word, is what triggers your dysphoria when all of this other girly shit, and let's be honest, having a baby is distinctively female, no matter what it says on the pages of Variety or People. I have to call bullshit, because that's fucking retarded. And it really did make me think back to the wonderful George Carlin skit, which I only included a very small portion of. I should have dropped a link, but if you guys have not seen George Carlin talk about the changing of words, you really should go watch the whole thing. Because he talks about, the idea that people think changing the word we're using actually changes what we're talking about. And that's not how the world works. This is why I've always pushed back. Like, anytime somebody goes, "Oh, you can't say retarded," it's why. Not saying retarded doesn't make retarded people not retarded. That's not how the world works. So yeah, that one really pissed me off. And as soon as I read it, because I read it the day before we talked, or the day we talked about it, but I read it before the show. I'm like, this is my next video. And for once, I actually made the next video that I was actually talking about making. So there you go.
Yay.
Let's see. Watch all George Carlin. George Carlin has some bad stuff. He had a couple of some of his mid-90s shows weren't as good as some of the others. I still recommend watching them, but definitely watch that one. That one's a classic. I'm still a huge fan of the Hippy Dippy Weatherman, so
I'm a fan of WINO, Wonderful Wino.
Yes.
That's super old. That's like off a vinyl comedy album my parents had old.
One of my favorite things he ever said was it was during one of the news skits, is that doctors have discovered what causes stomach cancer. That it's caused by saliva, but don't worry, it's only caused by swallowing very tiny bits over a long period of time.
Well, you cut out there. Doctors discovered.
Oh, shit. What part? Anyway, just watch Carlin. Don't watch me do it. Anyway, Ace Phoenix, thank you. Do not be racist like Mario. He's an Italian plumber who was created by the Japanese, speaks English, looks like a Mexican, jumps like a black man, and grabs coins like a Jew. Oh my God. Are you there?
Yeah, no, my chat like froze up and delayed. I didn't see that super chat until just now. That was weird.
Oh, okay.
Usually I see them at the same time. I was having internet problems a couple hours ago, but I thought they resolved themselves. I don't know if I'm having problems now or something, but anyway, might be me, might be you, can't tell.
Well, internet drama, YouTube drama. You want to start off there?
Yeah. So, you got a super chat.
Thank you, Snub Earth. Man boobs reminded me of Problem Child Jr. We going to see the bearded lady, Kramer? Too many of those in prison. Oh. Yeah.
So almost immediately after I posted my video, it seems like someone just posted the link to my video in the comments section to the source video. And the lady herself, Beat Chalette, began commenting on my video.
Sweet. How'd that go? I went over there and read some of the comments, but for the chat, how'd that go?
Well, let me, just for, clarity and everything else, I'll read the comment that she directed immediately to me.
Mm-hmm.
And she also engaged quite heavily with several other people who commented on the video. But she said to me, "You put quite some work into this. Thank you. Enjoyed your intelligent musings, and you made some interesting points. Most of all, thank you for remaining respectful. Some female sharks may bite, but I do believe that women need a code that will make it easier for us to help each other so more of us can advance. Sadly, your closing viewpoint is spot on. Now, you'd have to watch my video to see what the shark comment is and what my closing viewpoint is. But I was really surprised because, you know, I think this is only the second time I've ever had the subject of a video contact me on the video. And the first one was Daphne Explores.
Yes.
Who we had on the show. But Beat, if I'm saying that correctly again, yeah, she commented to me directly. She responded to several people on here directly. I won't read off those comments. You can go look at them yourself if you'd like. But yeah, I mean, she responds back to some people saying some, you know, pointed stuff about what they thought about her outlook and everything else. And she's very, you know, professional about it, so to speak, and everything else. That's nice.
That gives me an idea for a topic for Deep Topic. Keep going.
Okay. And the thing that I always get kind of paranoid about when I do videos on specific individuals, or at least individuals that aren't like speakers on a TEDx stage or something, is some kind of backlash, like a copyright claim or some harassment thing or something like that. But this kind of gave me a little bit of ease, because even if I disagree with her, the premise that she's operating under, you know, I stuck to my, hello?
Sorry, I was laughing at a comments number flipped.
Oh. But I stuck to my usual routine of arguing the point and not the person. Because, you know, there's nothing about her individually that, you know, was worthy of commenting on. I mean, she, as far as I can tell, she literally, you know, came from another country to America, started her own company, built it up, sold it off, became rich, and started her own new stuff. And like, I can't argue with that at all, regardless of what their opinions are. That's admirable in and of itself. You know, because usually if somebody comes up on a TEDx stage and they say that they're Dr. XYZ, and then they start talking about something, my first question is, well, doctor of what? Because when someone positions themselves as an authority on something, I want to know, well, are they actually an authority? Then they bring themselves after a fashion into their own argument. And then it's, you know, I think it's more comfortable to comment on them as a person, or at least their background. Mm-hmm. But here, you know, I just sort of stuck to point, talked about what she talked about, and let it go. And,
hey guys.
You know,
hey, welcome back.
Sorry about that.
And so she was, yeah, it's very interesting. I was thinking, but I don't think it would work. I was thinking like, sort of like with Daphne Explores, to try to invite her on the show, but something tells me that our format and our subject matter might be just a little bit beyond the pale for a serious discussion with a professional person. So maybe not. I don't know.
Snubbirth had said, Scribe, do you ever piss anyone off or piss off anyone? SDA and Monkey have haters galore. Scribe's much nicer than I am.
Like I say, this is, as far as I can recall, this is only the second time I've ever received any direct response from someone that I've done a video on, or at least, you know, done a subject video of theirs. And both times, I mean, the first time Daphne felt apologetic because she thought she had made me mad. The way, and of course, I was just being my snarky self and everything else when I was doing the video, but I wasn't, you know, I wasn't mad. Beat just seems to be, you know, she took the criticism in stride, and you know, we had a back and forth a little bit. So I don't know if I make anyone mad. I honestly don't know. I haven't gotten any feedback that tells me I have.
The quintessential difference between me, SDA, and Scribe can be seen in the infamous Angry MGTOW stream.
Oh, yeah.
Because SDA tries. She really does try to have a decent, intelligent discussion with this asshole. And it falls to shit, so she returns in kind. Scribbles gets the invite, and he's nice. He just comes in. What did you say? Hi or something?
Yeah, I just came on, and suddenly I appeared on the stream, and the guy's like, oh, now who the hell is this asshole? And I said, oh, hi. Someone just sent me the link, so I just thought I'd come on and say hello. And he's like, oh, okay, well, hi. And I was like, yeah, bye. And then he says like something like, well, that guy was nice.
And yeah, he did. And then Monkey was like, I fucked your mother. Like, so.
That is all I said to him is, I fucked your mother. So if you want to, that is the difference between the three of us.
Well, I mean, and I don't know that I really have a lot of haters though. I mean, I know like the MGTOWs all hate me and like that's a thing, like for sure. But I don't know, like beyond that, that a bunch of people dislike me as far as I know.
Oh, damn. I go to streams and I'll say hi in the chat, and almost everywhere, you know, people are like, oh, hi, monkey. And there's always one asshole, like, I hope you die. I'm like, oh, don't forget to buy a shirt. So yeah, I have haters and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, like I don't know of a whole. I mean, I know that like we have a few. I know there are a few dedicated assholes that follow me around the streams. I know that, but other than that, and like the MGTOWs, I don't know. I don't, because I also don't get involved in drama either.
Yeah, I mean,
are you
most
suggesting I do?
Yeah, you do. But like Monkey does, I really don't. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I think part of it is that in general terms, I don't do videos on people who have like rabid fan bases, you know, or have followings like that, so far as I know. So, you know, some guy on a TEDx stage probably doesn't have a gaggle of internet fans who follow their every move, especially on YouTube or something. So there's not much backlash for that kind of stuff. Also, you know, honestly, even though, you know, this show might not be the place for some of the people that I've done videos on, a lot of the people that I've covered, like Dr. Hoff, I would love to do a stream with Dr. Hoff and just like talk to him for an hour and just ask him some questions about his whole radical therapy stuff. You know, because I actually find most of my subjects very interesting, even if I don't agree with them. So.
Okie Native, that's just not even nice. Okie Native, thank you for the donation. I hope you break your leg while on a mini bike. Well,
what?
You can't break your leg on the mini bike. You have to get off of it first. Ha! You can die on the mini bike, but you can't break your leg on it. At least as far as I've seen. Snubber says, Ranting Monkey, I'm surprised Tonka fans haven't been riding up your ass. Oh, there's a few. Don't worry about. Yeah, I have a few of those, and we're going to talk about that here in just a moment.
All right. Well, my drama's done. That was all my drama.
Real quick, I did forget to mention after this, I will be streaming with Satsu over on 2 Cents Plus. Guys, don't forget to go over there and subscribe. We have a lot of fun. If you enjoy random banter, definitely check us out. And the game is fun too. Weibo is trying to start shit with me. She suggested I like butt licking or something like that. That's just not true. She's just mad because she's a midget, and midgets get angry a lot. So don't mind her. She'll be fine. Did you guys see Medicare's new video?
No. Did he put one out today? Dang it. I've been busy.
I'm going to start.
I saw that it was up because like I was at dinner. I was at dinner with Tridick, which is the weirdest thing we've ever come up with. We came up with that like 5 minutes before. I was like, you need a name. And she was like, Tridick. And I was like, done. But yeah, I saw the notification. I was like, oh my God, another Carmen. I have to watch that later. So I haven't seen it. I saw that it was about the Kumites. Right? It said, well, it said
it is. And it was weird watching this video. I haven't seen everything Medicare's done.
I have.
But to watch him suck up to the internet blood sports and completely if you take like the Rick and Morty video he did, he just completely bashes their fan base for being nut jobs, right? And it's all because of things like them yelling Pickle Rick, but somebody yelling blood for the blood gods, well, that's just people being entertained. And like it felt like the biggest sellout I've ever seen. And
that seems kind of inconsistent. I mean, I'll have to honestly, what I'm going to do, because I haven't seen the Rick and Morty video, is I'm going to watch both videos and get back to you.
How about this? Since neither of you have seen it, why don't we talk about this Monday?
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm really interested if you guys see it the way I do. Because to me, it really did. It seems so out of character from everything else I've seen. Now, there are parts of it that are definitely in character. For those of you who have missed it, a few people have suggested on Twitter that things like the blood sports and Worski having his alt-right buddies all over his channel. I might have had, or okay, I don't want to say had an influence on the shooter, but could cause somebody to become a school shooter, which is silly.
That's silly, yeah, for sure.
And he had fun with that, and I understand that part. But the absolute sucking up to crazy fans who normally I would expect him to just mock endlessly was disorienting, to be honest.
Huh. Yeah, I'll have to watch it. And you know what? I'll also watch I'll watch the Rick and Morty episode too, just kind of because you seem to be comparing and contrasting the two.
Net says, Monkey, you don't seem to understand Medicare. He lives for watching people go at each other online, so of course he thinks the blood sports are amusing. I'm not saying he shouldn't think the blood sports are amusing. I get that. Once more, guys, I fucking love drama. Joy Sparkles was on with Tonka the other day, and I watched probably 3 hours of that 7-hour stream. What I am saying, if you watch the Rick and Morty one and then watch the latest one, and who is it? Where was that at? Yeah, Bad Comic Reviews. Tell me if you don't think, wow, fanboy, because that was my exact fucking thought. Like, he went total fanboy on this stuff. So I don't want to keep poisoning the well here. I want them to watch it without any more of my fucking talking points. So instead, how about we move on to deep topic time? Because Scribe, you inspired a deep topic in me just a little bit ago.
Oh, I like inspiring things inside you.
Oh, real quick, since we are still on drama. Yes, Joy Sparkles is not only alive, but Kumite and Andy Worski are bringing her back and better than ever.
Oh, God.
Yeah. She's going to be on with Worski, I think, tomorrow at 6
Jesus
is the time.
Christ. All right.
Yeah. She's got all of this evidence that people were besmirching her, and that's fine. They had their own little internal dramas, but there's still a whole lot about Joy that is disturbing as fuck. And yeah, I don't think that she's coming off as the Jesus she thinks she is. You guys should go read her Twitter. It's funny as fuck right now. Anyhow, you mentioned her talking about women helping women.
Yes.
Do you think that's possible? Now, we've seen it. We see it in a
what do you mean?
Well, in a competitive environment, can women really help women the way that men would help men?
Like, okay, first of all, I think the most important question is, do men even show some kind of preferential treatment towards each other in a competitive, like, over women?
Well, see, that's part of my thing, because I think the idea of women helping women is wrong. I think they're going into it with this is a battle of the sexes when it's not. But did anybody else have a do you think women can help women?
So, well, I kind of have a response to both those points you just made. There's if you're operating under the presumption that it's a boys' club, that men are helping men, which seems to have been the subject of my video's belief, and in her comments, that's how she sees it. Then I suppose you would think the only way to succeed is to fight fire with fire, because if you're looking at the statistics, you say, oh, well, look at the percentage of women in leadership roles in the corporate pipeline, so to speak, as compared to men. Obviously, because their wedge is so much smaller than the men's wedge, the men are keeping the women out of it. But what's the natural instincts of women in competition? I mean, what's the natural instincts of men in competition?
Well, it's usually just to compete. But I mean, as far as women helping women goes, yes and no, I think. Like, because as a woman, right, I know how women pair off.
Mm-hmm.
And women pair, like, if you get a group of women together, hopefully you have an even number, because if you don't, then like, but if you have an even number of women, usually they'll pair off. And like, you get a buddy. And so like, you and your buddy will, like, you know, like, women are really nice to their friends. They're not necessarily going to be like mean or anything, or even catty, but they're not going to be as helpful or as loyal to people who are not like their close friends, which is not really an exclusively woman trait anyway. So like they'll give preferential treatment to like other people or women that they're close to. But other than that, yeah, you're not going to get a lot of like mass cooperation out of women. But I think that's true for anybody. I don't think that's just like a catty woman thing.
No, I mean, it's if in the corporate, competitive corporate environment, like the lady was talking about, you've got a limited number of top jobs because and she was focusing almost exclusively on like leadership roles and corporate positions and CEO stuff and all that kind of thing. There's a difference between being part of a good team and then trying to achieve high success as an individual. And you can do that with a base of support, sure, and networking, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to there's one job, there's 2 or 3 people going for it. If they're all women, women are going to lose. And that's just it. And you can't have friends in the race to the top kind of thing, And so can women help women? Sure, as a mentor kind of thing, but at the same time, it shouldn't be gender exclusive. It should just be, is someone needing guidance? Do they have the skill? Do they merit the kind of assistance, etc., regardless of what they got between their legs? And then do they move up? Well, that's on them. It's they sink or swim. But as far as like base lizard brain instincts, are women inherently going to help out other women just as a matter of course in a competitive environment? Some will, some won't, and the ones that do will probably be the ones that are left behind when the ones that won't step on their neck.
Well, in my experience when I worked, I helped a lot of people out, and anytime it was a female employee, the charges of it's just because she's cute or she flirts. Nobody ever suggested that if I helped a dude out, not once.
Okay.
But if it was a chick, and this stuff didn't come from guys. Guys weren't going, oh, he just wants to bang her. This was all chicks who said it. In my personal experience, women, when it comes to competition like that, they turn so catty on each other. I don't know seriously, even people who are really good friends.
Sorry.
I say even people who are really good friends would at least make snide-ass comments about it.
Yeah, women are, I think women are the most sexist, at least as far as towards women go, are the most sexist people on the fucking planet. And yeah, there's just like a natural animosity, natural competition between women. And so like, I don't think that we will ever get to a point where there's like a massive like girl power. We're just going to all like each other. Because women just don't operate that way. Like, I think we wanna, a lot of the time, we're like, I'm gonna be a good person. And then you're on your period and you're like, fuck her. Like, we just scroll through our phones at like, stupid bitch from high school. She got gross. I feel better about myself.
Excuse me.
That's how it works. And you're right. If anybody's gonna accuse a woman of like, oh, you just helped her because like you think her butt looks weird or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be the woman who's accusing you of that because, I mean, a guy's probably just going to be like, her butt's cute, I guess. I don't know.
So to play devil's advocate on the behalf of the lady the video I did on, I think her argument is that she's trying to teach women not to resolve to the catty, bitchy, sort of mean girl sort of attitude, and that will assist women in total in a workplace by essentially taming that sort of competitive, vindictive reflex against other women. Do you think that would change the dynamic?
You know what? Actually, if women were to, as a collective, make a conscious effort to not get catty in the workplace and to keep it out of the workplace and to be professional and like really made a huge effort to just be like nice and courteous to each other, I do think it would help because my mom texted me and said, this is why I had all men on my team. So, when a lot of people are putting together teams, especially women, they don't want women on their teams. So I think if women did, as just a societal shift, made a conscious effort to be kinder towards other women and to not be catty. I do think it would help women as a whole, because you might whittle down those people who were like, I don't want to fucking deal with the drama of having women on my team.
Do you think that's something they can do, though?
I think if enough women wanted to do it, like for me personally, I know I make a conscious effort to do it when I'm in a workplace environment. Like just personally, I do my best to be really nice and courteous to everybody. Just so like, just so like you don't have animosity, and so that it's a good workplace environment for everybody. But yeah, everybody's like, oh, this is not going to happen. I'm just saying that if it were to happen, if women, and you know what, maybe it's something that you could teach like growing up, I guess, if everybody made like the societal push to be like, hey, girls, don't be catty, like be catty at home, like, but be nice to people in the workplace. I think she's kind of right that it would actually help women as a whole. Because like I said, you'd cut down on that whole, I don't want women working for me because they're crazy.
I see what you're saying. If women could do that, yeah, it absolutely would help them. Yeah. If women actually did get into the workplace and acted like men while they were there, it would help them tremendously.
Yeah, I agree. Because it would make it a better work environment for everybody. And like I said, you cut down on the whole women are terrible thing, and yeah, you make it easier for women to get hired.
The thing is, I'm not sure that women can do that. Maybe a woman can do that, but as it seems to be just a trait of women. And yes, hashtag not all, but women my whole life that I've known have been this way. I've met very few who are exceptions to the rule. When I worked at Walmart, sure, there were people that I knew who were absolutely chill women. The majority of them were bitchy, catty, nasty women who, and it's weird, they never did it to the guys. They never.
No, it's always towards other women.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you, Cryptic.
Well, and that's something that like feminists have been talking about for a while, and it's something that I actually kind of agree with them on, is that I think women need to cut other women some slack. And I understand, because people in chat are yelling at me about this. And I understand that everybody's upset because, well, it's never going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying that were it to happen, would it be beneficial to all women? Yeah, it totally would be. And the other thing is that in order for it to happen, I completely acknowledge that we would have to decide, like, as a generation, what we're going to do is we're going to just pound it into any female child's head that you be nice to other women and you don't be catty. And you would have to do that for about 20 years to see any kind of real results. So, it's something to think about if you're going to parent somebody, right? To just beat that into their heads. But yeah, it would take a major societal shift for us to get there, because you're right. Women are not catty towards men, which is why women work fine with men. They're just catty towards each other, and that's why you can't have too many women on a team. It's kind of like the Smurfette thing, how like feminists get mad, like, because in media, it's like a bunch of guys and then a woman, and they're like, why can't there be more than two women? And it's like, why. You're a female, why. And it's because that's typically how groupings happen in real life. You have one girl and a bunch of guys.
Real quick, thank you, Cryptic. At my job, they talk more shit to each other 24/7. Thank you, Cryptic. These are PhD and master degree holders. And thank you, Sir Wolfgang. This is why I don't understand women, because women understand women and women hate each other, or hate other women. Yeah, that's a great Al Bundy quote. It says, don't try to understand women. Women understand women and they hate each other. Yeah, it's true.
I guess.
No, go ahead.
The point I made in my video on the same idea is that as far as like, again, as far as like teamwork goes, sure. As far as like achieving high-end corporate positions in competition with other women and other men, can you achieve it if you're being trained to tame down your, I don't know, I mean, for lack of a better phrase, female competitive instincts in order to get along? Doesn't that risk, at least?
I think it would absolutely help you.
May I
Hello?
go on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Doesn't that risk neutering the tools? Not necessarily. I'm talking about like being bitchy and backstabby as the way in which to get ahead, but would that discourage the assertiveness necessary that women already are shown to lack in negotiating for raises and promotions in getting towards higher level positions?
Absolutely not. And the reason why is that the behavior that the person in your video is describing and the behaviors that we're talking about are the catty backstabbing stuff. It's not general competitiveness. It's not anything to do with merit. It's just being bitchy and not willing to work with other women. And the thing is that even to get those high level positions, you have to be able to work with people and you have to be able, to lead people and to, keep your emotional stuff out of it. That's what you have to be able to do. So the behaviors that we're talking about is not working really hard and like doing all the things you need to do to get ahead. It's being a bitch. Like that's what she's talking about. So I don't think that you would be neutering competitive behaviors. You would be neutering behaviors that are not productive for anybody involved.
Did you guys watch all of the Jordan Peterson, Kathy Newman interview?
Yes.
Yeah.
In that interview, he talks about how he has helped, I guess the word is trained women to be more competitive, more like men. Because we when we're talking about women being competitive in this instance, and again, this is based on my own experience and what I've seen in the media and stuff. The competitiveness of women is not the same as it is of men. Like, if me and Scribe were playing a game, one of us wants to win. And you might even give the other person shit for losing, but it doesn't become, I rarely say, oh, well, you had some unfair advantage. And that's what it is when it comes to women. Oh, she's just too cute. She has big boobs. She has a nice ass. She sucks up to the guys. All of it is excuses for why you fail. And I don't generally see that with men. And STA, you've talked a few times about, if we were to beat this into the heads of women, do you think that's something we could actually do, or is this just too biological?
Personally, I think it is. And the only reason I say that is because my mother beat it into my head. Because she is a very successful person in a corporate job. And so she was constantly telling me, you need to just like chill and you need to be willing to work with people and you need to be able to listen and to just as a leadership skill, see what people you have to work with and play to their strengths so that everybody is achieving. Because if everybody's doing their best work under your leadership, then that means that you're a good leader. So it was beaten into my head. At least I don't know if like I'm naturally more masculine or something or anything like that, because this is totally anecdotal, obviously.
Sure.
But personally, yeah, it was beaten into my head and it worked. So you know what? I think it's a good skill, or at least a good philosophy to try to teach a young girl to, to be competitive, like Jordan Peterson said, and like we covered, in a more masculine way, rather than, because like you said, the competitive that women are is just like, your boobs are stupid, right? It's not, I'm going to work really hard. So yeah, I think it's something that can be taught.
Scribbles?
Yeah, it's kind of conditioning, but sometimes you have to.
I've said everything I had to say.
Okay. All right. With that, I have nothing more on the topic. I tend to think you can teach any person things. I don't think you can teach groups things in a meaningful way.
Yeah, it would have to come down to, like, as a society, we decide that this is a value that we want to instill in individuals, if that makes sense. So you'd have to have a whole group of people agreeing on this, like, wholeheartedly enough to change the way that they parent. So could it be a thing? I think so. Would it be very, very difficult to achieve in the next 40 or so years? Yeah, absolutely it would be.
All right, with that, chat, it is your time. Questions, comments, concerns, anything you want to add to the conversation or think we missed and should cover. Now is your time to ask. Somebody asked a question while we were talking that I wanted to address, but I didn't want to change the subject. So give me a second. Let me see if I can find that while we wait for other questions. Get my singing voice here. Oh, crap. Okay, if you asked a good question, ask it again, because I can't remember.
Can't find it.
Yeah. Weibo says, my dad raised me to be like a dude, so I think conditioning is a big part of it. To me, this comes down to the quote from Men in Black, where he's talking about, why don't you tell the world people are smart? And he goes, no, a person is smart. I'm not sure you can have that major of an impact, because it does seem very biological. Women do work well together to get things done. They just don't work well to get to a high individual position. They seem to. Griselle should have wrote it down, Monkey. Yes, I should have.
Yeah, now of course I'm a communist. Look, I think that it makes for more productive daughters, especially in this. Sorry, I know I'm still talking about this, but real quick, especially in this current economy where usually both the men and the women have to work now. I think in that sense, having a woman or a child who's a daughter who can actually navigate the workplace successfully, and not be a detriment to herself is an important skill to teach a child.
Mash wants to know what my reaction was to the man boob picture you posted on Twitter. I just looked at it and then looked away. I've been on the internet long enough that not much startles me.
I need to get some water. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sure. That question's for Scribe, and he just went. So, have you seen F is for Family? No, I haven't.
I haven't either.
Oh, there it is. Yes, Sir Wolfgang. Thank you. That is the question. Do you think people could make Married with Children nowadays, or do you think their heads would explode? I have a theory. We've talked a lot about, movies that couldn't be made and shows that couldn't be made. I still think they could be, theoretically, and I think they could do very well. I don't think studios and stuff will go for it because they're too afraid of backlash. But if somebody did make a Married with Children or All in the Family type show today, I think it would not only be able to be made, but I think it would be a hit. I think there's a lot of people who are tired of just the same old crap and would like an alternative, especially if it's just funny. If you watch Married with Children, there's not really that much that's bad there. They make some sexist jokes, but I mean, if you watch it compared to even, say, The Simpsons, it's not horrible.
Or Family Guy.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of horrible shit out there. I think you could make a Married with Children. I just think studios are too afraid to.
Yeah.
Scribbles, somebody asked, who was that? Where'd it go? Kilgore Trout said, if they saw you on the street, would you, and they requested a hug, would you give them a hug?
If I had no context, no. It's like somebody comes like, give me a hug. Like,
no, get away from me.
If you knew who I was, which would be interesting, I'd first ask, you must be stalking me. Because it's like, how did you find me? And now you want to hug me? Run!
Monkey, would you hug somebody that just came up to you and asked for one?
Me? Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't hug people.
I mean, if they hung on too long, I'd push them away.
I'm just weird about being touched, I guess. I don't know.
England DG, thank you so much. Women generally are afraid of criticism. I don't know if they're afraid of it. I think they take it more personal than they need to. And that is again, this is based on my experience. I gave a lot of evaluations when I was a supervisor, and women seem to take things a lot more personally than guys did.
Yeah, I would say that women have a stronger tendency to internalize criticism than guys do. But I don't know. I think maybe these are skills that sometimes just have to be taught, where you get taught how to take criticism. I mean, and women just are more emotional. So yeah, I think some of these things are things that
have to be tempered over time, and you have to think about it. Like, even for me, I have to remind myself not to be bitchy because all women are catty. It's just a thing that you have to consciously not do.
England DG says, and I'll be frank, if you mentor them, they will get all backstabby on you. I don't think that's necessarily true. Anybody I mentored, male or female, were very loyal to me. I think that's a large part of how you manage.
Yeah, I think some of that is being a little hard on women because, like, I agree they're bitchy, but I mean, I don't know.
I've seen it happen. Don't get me wrong, but
I'm not saying it wouldn't happen, but I'm saying, like, to paint all women with like this huge broad brush, like you can't trust them in the workplace. I think that's also silly.
Yeah, I guess. God damn it! I gotta scroll back up.
Oh no!
Sorry. Weibo asked me what my thoughts were on my career as Cinnamon. I don't even know what that means.
Is that your stripper name or something?
That was her talking about me liking butt stuff on Thursdays. I think this is her way of getting out of the fact that she's admitted a couple of times on stream that she likes to go Greek.
All right.
And okay. Thoughts on Swaziland's limits on how high witches are allowed to fly? Is that a real thing?
I would not be surprised.
You don't want them running into aircraft, so you probably do have to keep them low. That's just common sense. And you don't want them accidentally falling on cars and killing people.
Mexico.
And says Ranting Monkey, did you build or buy your PC? I built my PC. There's nothing wrong with buying a PC as long as you make sure you're getting what you need. But I wanted very specific things and had a very limited budget, so I wanted to make sure that the parts that were important to me were where the money was spent. So I built my own. I've only bought myself a computer twice. Sorry. Usually I build them. Next movie on movies you should have watched. Actually, I have to talk to Scribbles about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. How long is too long for a hug? Well, with a stranger, I would say anything more than like 3 seconds. I would prefer just like a bro hug, actually.
That's actually way too long. Like 1, 2, 3. No, like half a second for me. Like if I hug you, like you get half a second. I don't know. But like I said, I've had like some things happen to me where like I'm just freaky about being touched at all for whatever reason. Like depending on the person. So like I can't really talk.
Women are worse bosses, and in competitive workplace, you can never trust them. They don't have any team spirit and will backstab anyone to achieve goals. And the first in line are other women. I
think you're being kind of a dick there, dude.
The worst bosses I've had were all women. But at least I knew where I stood with them more than I did with some of the guys. Some of the guys who act like women are even worse. I mean, we can do. I still got to do my Walmart stream eventually. England DG, thank you so much for the donation. I didn't mean to paint a broad brush. The issues is how they view the world. What women have that men don't is an out. When held to task, they're more likely to complain to a superior of abuse. I think that's a product of modern time in the post Clarence Thomas era, which, you know, that did a lot to hurt society and women in the workplace. I'm not gonna say any different. How big of an erection is too big for a hug? Well, if she can feel it and she's not supposed to, it's too big for the hug.
Honestly, like if it's an erection and you're hugging someone you don't know, stop it.
What if the erection's not for the person you're hugging?
Still weird.
Weibo had Undoom.
What?
I don't know. Yeah, to be honest, one of the coolest bosses I had was a woman. Okay. For me, the coolest bosses I've had were probably women, but they were older women. And women 40 plus. My favorite boss, though, was the one I made cry because she had to give me my evaluation. I didn't even say anything. She cried because they told her she had to, and that was funny to me.
Why?
She thought I was going to be horrible to her. We'll get to that in just a second. Thank you, England DG. I didn't mean sexual abuse. I meant that women are more Machiavellian. Women are Machiavellian. Men generally are not. Okay. Oh, we both had Undoomed on our stream. Cool.
Oh golly.
I like Undoomed. He's fun to talk to.
When did I have Undoomed? She said.
Maybe she didn't. No, when I when I worked at Walmart, a frequent topic of discussion is how I never got fired. Because of the way I talk to my bosses. One of the reasons I was never fired is because I always did it behind closed doors. It's okay to have even a heated discussion with your boss, as long as you are still respectful about it. If you do it out on the floor in front of everyone else and you're disrespecting them, they should probably fire your ass. You take it behind a closed door, express what you need to express. But I had this reputation of calling out stupidity whenever I saw it. And she was under the impression that she was going to come in there and give me this eval, and I was just going to give her a bunch of shit for it and ruin her day. And the truth of the matter is, in that evaluation, I actually had her mark me down further on one spot and mark me up 2 places on another, just because she was wrong. And I gave her good reasons for why. I'm very self-aware. So when it comes to things like evaluations, I don't go into an evaluation thinking I'm the best thing ever. I go in there knowing my strengths, my weaknesses, what I've done wrong recently. So it actually turned out to be a really great one. But yeah, just knowing that I instilled fear in management made me happy. I'm not going to lie.
I think we've all wanted to instill fear in management at some point.
I did it. Yeah. Anyhow, no mention of
There's
James.
a story there, but Monkey won't say it.
Well, my whole life, and this when my wife first, no, not my wife, my children first met my sister. I have a foster sister. She sat there and told them all kinds of stories about me, and they've heard some of them before from my perspective, but hearing it from somebody who saw me growing up was a little different for them. And one of the stories she told was that even from the first time she ever met me, and at that time I was like 3, if I thought something was wrong, I would say so. And she said she's always had this song "Won't Back Down" from Tom Petty as my theme song, because that's how she always saw me, no matter if it was my parents, school administrators, and as I got older, my bosses. If I think I'm right, I will say so, and I will argue it, because that's who I am, and I'm very good at arguing. So I've had a lot of bosses that were afraid to bring things to me because they don't understand. It's not that I'm an asshole. If I think you're wrong, I'm going to tell you you're wrong, but I'm still going to be respectful enough, like to take it behind a closed door. I'm not going to, fucking threaten you or anything. I'm just going to argue with you because I think you're wrong. Grizilla asks, any other games you plan to stream with Satsu 2 cents? At the moment, no. But I'd be willing to stream games with him because I love playing with Satsu. Sorry, I've been talking too much and I am missing things. Anyway, Faith is Abdication. No mention of James Damore losing his court case. I didn't know he did.
Oh yeah, the labor board didn't find anything illegal about Google's firing of him.
That's not unexpected. I mean,
yeah, firing for cause is a big tool of a company, especially for like a contract worker or something. So.
Thank you, England DG. What I've seen more often than not is that women are manipulative and not productive. Men either produce or they quit. This is not universal, but is something I've seen. I've seen that too. But again, I think a lot of it is there's a lot of shitty people in general. I do think there is a biological component to this where women are just going to naturally be that way. Just like men are just naturally. The idea, that you can teach, beat the toxic masculinity out of men, you really can't. Excuse me. It's thousands of years, or thousands, hundreds of thousands of millions of years of evolution. So Setsu says, I'd like to stream other games. We got to find one when we're done with 7 Days to Die. Yeah, like I said, I would love to. I enjoy playing video games.
Play WoW.
Oh God, yeah, I couldn't get back into that now.
Yeah, stream WoW.
Although I do miss my characters. I dare you and Rancing Monkey to play or to stream Getting Over It. I'm not even sure.
God.
What game is it?
It's one of those sort of like made just for speed running and streaming games where you play a guy in a barrel with like I think like a pickaxe or something, and it's this physics game where you have to try to hoist yourself up and over mountains and mountains of different stuff in as fast as you can. And of course, if you fall, yeah, just look it up on YouTube. You'll find tons and tons of videos on it.
England DG, thank you so much. I want to be clear, I'm not against women leadership. I've worked for great women. I've worked with great women, but we're talking averages. No, I understand completely. And I don't necessarily disagree with everything you're saying. The only one I really disagree with is the mentoring one, because that has not been my experience at all. Robert asks if we stream on Twitch or YouTube. It's on YouTube over on 2 Cents Plus. We'll be doing that as soon as this stream is over. There's also streams. It'll be on, let's see. Weibo, are you streaming tonight afterwards? I forget who else doing. And then, of course, Minions have Saturdays, their game nights, which are always funny. That's the only part of streaming with Satsu that really upsets me, is that there's so many great streams that come after us that I have to watch after we're done, and watching streams that you're not part of the chat is weird. So yes, apparently Weibo's streaming. So make sure to watch that after you watch me and Satsu. Let's see. I missed a lot of questions. I know. I'm sorry. On the plus side, my medicine has kicked in, and I told you earlier, Scribe, that throughout the day it wasn't too bad. But right before stream time, right before stream, guys, I was fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But I feel much better right now.
Yay.
And that's relative, of course.
Well, sure.
God. Menopause makes women calm down. No, not necessarily. It can, but in the situations where I was working, I mean, we're talking about Walmart here. We're not talking about corporate hierarchy. Although, that there's still the office politics and stuff. But if you want to make good friends at Walmart, you want to find the fun old women's group. Mm-hmm. It's true. There will be one group in there of old women who all just joke and have a great time, and that's the group you want to be a part of. Several people keep talking about they keep getting kicked out when they try to type into chat. I don't know what that's about, guys. I will send something into YouTube and ask them. They don't generally return my calls, but I will do my best.
What do you mean kicked out? Like
they have to log back in. Dark Alile just said it, and he's at least the third person I've seen say it.
Log back? You mean of their account?
Yeah, they get kicked out of
what?
YouTube and have to come back.
Weird. I've never seen that happen.
Thank you, England DG. I worked for a Fortune 100, training people, making 6-figure salaries. I don't base this on nothing. What did you do? You had a female boss at Walmart. I had several female bosses at Walmart. I was a supervisor in various different parts of the store. I never went up to management because I couldn't keep my fucking mouth shut. Mm-hmm. Data Wasteland, Rancing Monkey, have you ever told the story about how you hurt your back? I wish there was one.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I did hurt my neck, 17 years ago now. And there's a possibility that it's left over from that, but there's nothing that happened to me. It just, I started getting a pain one day. Mash says chat kept disconnecting for her too. Midnight in Exile, it's been happening all week. Yeah.
I've never heard of it till now. It's weird.
Me neither. Yeah. I will reach out to YouTube, see what they say. Let's see. Nope, menopause made most of them. One, angry as fuck. Two, sexual demons. Okay.
Sexual demons.
Satsu says he hurt his neck trying to suck his own dick. Dude, I know I'm not that bendy. Do you have any weirdos of Walmart stories? Yes, too many. Night, baby, love you. Yeah, I mean, we had a guy that he ended up getting arrested because he was masturbating in the toy section.
Ew.
Yeah.
Who is my favorite boss from Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door? Probably the one on the pirate ship. He was fun. I also enjoy the final fight. The final fight's like really epic. I think it's like properly built up. I also enjoy like the final like journey to the boss in the Thousand Year Door. That's a lot of fun, especially like the part outside of like that big mansion where like you can ride around in, like your boat form, and it's like a circle like pond thing like underground. It's kind of creepy. I don't know. I like it. If you've played the game, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Squishy says hello. Hi, Squishy.
Hi, Squishy.
Hi, Squishy.
Fucking love Squishy.
I heart you.
Is your sister that little girl that you hit with a shovel? No. No. Yeah, that'd be really weird because that little girl gave me a kiss later on too. She liked it. You beat women, they like you. This is ask Scribe.
Yeah.
I got a question. What is it, Winston?
Winston Churchill.
We had someone set clothing racks on fire one day at Walmart. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
God. Apparently, my comment was the most on point. I appreciate that.
Mash asks, how about you guys play Cuphead? I'm not a fan of side scrollers.
Yeah.
I haven't played Cuphead.
Did any of you play the game Metro 2033? No, I haven't.
No. It sounds familiar, but let me look that up because that
isn't
does
that
sound
the FPS underground like Russian thingamabobber? I've seen streams of it, I believe.
Oh yeah, I've never played that. I've seen it. I've never played it. What else do we have here? What is causing the severe pain in your back? Well, to be honest, it's not severe pain in my back. From my neck to the bottom of my feet hurts, and it's because of there's damage to my spinal cord in my neck, and almost all the signals that go through there are read by my brain as pain. So, and no, there's nothing surgery can do. There have been some really interesting developments in the scientific world with spinal cord repairs that I'm keeping an eye on, but those probably won't even make it in my lifetime. But I'm hopeful. Anyone want to play Fortnite with me? I've never played. Last cool side scroller I played was Golden Axe on Amiga. You know, I used to love the 2D Mario games, Mario or Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3. I fucking love those, but I'm not a big side scroller fan.
Mega Man 2.
Oh, Mega Man was a great series.
Mega Man 2 is great.
Have you watched the movie Tusk? No.
No, I've heard lots about it, and Kevin Smith, like, they came up with that idea on one of his podcasts, and he had like his audience vote. Should I make a movie about this crazy idea? It'd be sort of like making a movie based on one of my silly advertisements, just on a whim, which might not be a bad idea, but might not actually turn into cinematic gold at the same time. You know, it might be fun to do, but probably not profitable.
Jack Gunsky says, my father suffers from a fucked up back. Do you have any tips for helping with pain? This might sound corny, but I remind myself that there are people out there that have it so much worse than I do. And you have to give yourself moments to break down from it. At least in my case, you're going to break eventually. And what I end up doing is I allow myself to cry for a few minutes. And then, I start reminding myself there are people who have it way worse than people with no fucking legs, people with no arms or legs. I think I'll take the pain and still being able to use it. What do you guys think of the sheriff in Florida starting an initiative to test, train, and arm school teachers? It's an overreaction. I don't think it'll help much. I really don't. Oh, would you plug Squishy's Ants GoFundMe? Thank you for reminding me. Bad comic reviews. I will put that in the. I told Satsu to remind me, and he didn't. Guys, Squishy's aunt has been diagnosed with breast cancer. She has a GoFundMe. I think
shit, dude.
I think the goal is $1,000. Last I saw, they were like at 100. So I'm gonna throw that in chat, and then I'll throw it into the.
Yeah, I will definitely harass you guys on Monday during the stream, and I'm sure Scribe will continue it on until we at least get to the 1,000. Because Satsu was like, he was one of the OG people on here, and
is he still here?
He's very good friends with all of us, and so super important.
Satsu, where the hell's the link, dude?
Sassy.
Oh wait, I got it. Okay. And thank you so much for reminding me. Yes. There we go. It's in the chat there. And remember, guys, if for some reason the link doesn't work, what you do is you go up to the top, line up your cursor with the very last character, and hit backspace once, enter, and it should work. There we go. So I'm going to put that into the. You guys talk for a second while I update this.
Hello, chat.
All right. What other questions does we have? Y'all gonna make her cry. She said thanks. Hey, Satsu, we love you and we love Squishy. She's the fucking bomb. So whatever you guys need, man. Whatever you guys need.
Okay. That is updated in the description.
Yeah, I'll make sure that I have that in the description on Monday. And make sure you guys remind us as well so I don't forget. But I'm actually going to set off an alarm. What other questions do you
real quick, Robert A says your friendly reminder that you asked to be reminded about Ace's birthday song. I remembered that and we sang it.
Yep. It's
in the middle of MSS News if you want to hear the wonderful song stylings of Scribe and Ranting Monkey. Oh, and they're up to $200 of their $1,000 goal. So yeah, guys, anything you could do, I'm sure they would appreciate. Let's see. SDA is rich. She can help out. Yeah, she's the rich kid. No, SDA's parents are. I don't want to say rich. It's not like they're driving Lamborghinis, as far as I know.
No, we're not rich at all. Like we're not poor, but not rich, and especially not me. I make my own money. I mean, like they pay for me to be alive, but like I'm not. Any kind of like traveling I'm doing and stuff for YouTube is all I'm paying for it all myself. So,
guys, we have 3 minutes left, and I would like to point out that most of the Lords of the Night streams that we do on my channel end up with not suitable for all advertisers.
Yeah.
But the other day we actually had one age restricted, and I want to say out loud to YouTube, good call, because that was the nipple stream, and you probably don't need kids listening to me.
Nipple torture.
I mean, I think it's cool. They didn't. I mean, they could have, put that in limited state. They could have taken it down, and all they did was like, we're just gonna make it so it's behind the kid wall, which is I can appreciate that.
Yeah,
I can rely. Okay, I'm not even gonna go there.
Guys, you got 2 minutes left, and really by the time you hear this, you probably have 1 minute left. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, now's the time. Don't forget, after this stream, we're going to be I'll be over with Satsu on 2 cents plus. That's the number 2, the word cents, and the word plus, no spaces. Playing 7 Days to Die. Any other programming notes we need that you guys you had a book club, right, SDA?
Yeah, book club on Tuesday at 7 a.m.
And we will be back on Monday on SDA's channel at our normal time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, guys, hit that like button. I am very insecure. Help me feel better. Let's see. You should sell nipple twisting t-shirts. Yeah, if I can figure out a way to do that, I will.
Oh, you need to put like a t-shirt with 2 bullseyes right where the nipples would be.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
What do you call a monkey with a hat and a wand? Harry Potter. I see what you did there. Yeah, so Michael Hatfield, thank you for fighting through the pain to entertain us. No, actually, this helps me probably way more than it entertains you. Being able to just talk, it takes my mind off stuff. So Robert A, this is what we're gonna finish on. Comment. Thank you guys for streaming. I know it has to be hard to keep a schedule sometimes, but it helps people to have you guys and this chat. It does me. Well, thank you for watching. And guys, thank you for the donations. Thank you for the great comments. Thank you for hanging out with us every night. You guys make this a lot more fun than it would be if it was just the 3 of us. So I would still talk to Scribe. You can ask him about the early days. I'd just be like, dude, I'm bored. But having you guys along for the ride definitely makes it a lot more fun for me. Scribe, SDA, a pleasure as always. Everyone, your life makes me sad. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.